Hello and welcome to this video where we will deploy a React application into Azure Web Apps. And to do this, we will use Docker to containerize our React applications, send it up to Azure Container Registry, and then inside of Azure Web Apps or App Services, we will pull this image and then deploy this one so that you can access it from wherever you want in the world. So here I am in the terminal, and let's run npm create the app latest, and my app, I will just call it demo react deployment, like this, -- template react. Okay. So this will create a React application using Vite. Need to install the following packages, create Vite. Okay, I will do that. Yes. And now, ls, you can see that I have this demo React deployment. I'll go into this one, cd demo React deployment, and I'll do code dot to open up Visual Studio Code. Now inside of Visual Studio Code, you can see this is just a standard React application. So what do I want to do? I want to do npm install. So it will install all the dependencies. Yes, it's done. And then I will just run npm run dev to see that it works. Okay, it hosts on this local host 5173. So I'll just jump into here. And here you can see my React application. So I can click on account, it works. Restart it and the counts become 0 again. Yes, it works. So now locally it works. So the next step is to dockerize this. And in order to do that, we need to create a file first. In the root of the project, I'll create a file called nginx.conf. And this file is used for the configurations, which you will need in order for you to, when you build a project, so that when you dockerize it, this will work. So I'll just copy in the code here. Basically, it looks like this. It listens to port 80. It has the server name localhost. And this is the root directory for serving the files. So we will send this folder later on into this folder inside of our Docker container. And then here is the index.html file, and this is for handling pretty URLs. Okay, so this is basically just a file for web server configuration. So let's now create a file for dockerizing. So Docker file. And here I will also paste this in. Now, this Docker file is used for creating a lightweight container to serve a static website using Nginx. So here we create a very small base image with Alpine, which is a very small Linux distribution. And then here we remove the default Nginx virtual host configuration. And then we copy our configuration into this place. So we replace the old one with the one that we have created. And then we move our distribution into this place which we have defined in our Nginx, right? And then we expose port 80, and then we have a command to start it. Okay, so this is almost done, but we have forgotten one step. We haven't created our distribution yet, so that is what we should do. npm run build. That is it. Now you have a folder, and you see you have index.html, you have assets here, and you have the... So basically here you see you have a minified CSS, you have a minified JS, and you have a SVG here. Okay. And then you have index.html. And that is it. And now we'll dockerize this. So to dockerize it, basically just run docker build. Let's see, docker build -t, and the image name, let's create demo react. deploy, and then a dot, I forgot. Right, I need to open Docker. Let's say Docker daemon need to be opened. Docker desktop. Okay, now let's run this one. And it's building. Yes, I'll allow that. Okay. And it's building this one. So let's take a look. Docker image ls. We can see we have demo React deploy. Good. Let's run it. So docker run -p 8080 :80 image name. What did I choose? I chose React demo deploy like this. Cannot find it. Docker image ls. Demo React deploy. Okay. Demo React deploy. Ready for startup. Okay, so it doesn't start up automatically. You need to open up the browser and go into localhost 8080 yourself. And then it works. And as you can see, it's a different host from the previous one, which was 5173, I think. And now we have port mapped it to 8080 and it works. So that is it. We have dockerized this application. And for me that I'm working in M3, I need to dockerize it towards AMD64. However, if you don't have it, you can I'll show you how to do that. And this is important when we go into Azure and we will put it into our Azure container registry. And then we'll use use web apps, Azure app service to serve this one. So here I am in Azure portal and let's create the container registry. So search for that. We have here container registry, create that one. And here, let me create a new resource group and we can call it, let's see, what will we call it? React demo RG. So it's the resource group. React demo app RG. Okay. Registry name, ACR. Let's put in a few numbers. Or ACR. Yeah, it's okay. Let me choose use availability sound. No, that is fine. Networking, encryption. Yeah, I think great. So just create this one. Yes. And then we go to the resource. Here's the container registry. Choose access keys. And basically click admin user. And here you have a few things. You have this login server, which we'll copy. So this one we will need inside of our Docker. So here I'm in my studio code. I'll do Control-C to close down my web server or my Docker container. So let me do like this here. Login. Username is this one. Let's see. Copy this one. And password is this password here. Copy it. Yes, login succeeded. So now it's time to send our Docker image and push it to this registry. I'll just show you how to do it if you're not in an ARM-based system, such as Mac with M chips. So I have a Mac M chip. So that's why I need to do it in a special way, but I'll show you the normal way first. So what you do is Docker tag, and then the image name. Let me see what you call it, demo-react-deploy. And then you need to put in the login server, which is this one. And then /image name. Let's see. Copy this one. And after that one, we'll take :latest. Like this. And then Docker push. And let's see. Docker push requires exactly one argument. You need to push to this tag. So I will copy this one here and push it to here. So this is what you do normally if you're not in an ARM-based system, such as me. So we will see what happens now. So here, when I go into, let's see, I'll go into repositories, and you can see here's my demo React deploy. Okay, then for me, as I'm in M3, I need to do something special, and what I need to do is docker build XLS first. I'll see which one I have. So I have used something called docker build x create -use. This will create a new build x which I can use. And then I do docker build x inspect -bootstrap. And this is so that I can send my container or my image into platforms that are AMD 64. And because by default, I will create Linux ARM 64, and the app service in Azure, it uses Linux AMD 64, so I need to build it towards this platform. That is why I need to do this thing, okay? Otherwise it won't work. So docker build x build -platform, I choose the platform I want, is Linux /AMD 64-T for tagging. And what do I want to tag? I want to tag the login server, and then /name. I will call this Mac, just to make it different from what we had before. And then push, and now this creates an image and pushes it with AMD 64 up to Azure Container Registry. So let's go up and check. So here, go into repositories, and we should see two of them. Here we have demo React Mac -M3. Okay, so now when we have these images, let's go into home. Let's go into our resource group, React demo app RG. And I will create a web app. So here, let's see, web app. Yes, web app. Create this one. And here we choose this React demo app. We choose container here. We need to choose a name for that. Let's see, in React web app demo. It doesn't matter. It can be called like that. Linux, region, Sweden, Central, as this is closest to me. Let's see, pricing plan. Yes, this will create an ASP. So pricing plan, we can choose. I'll choose this one, a little bit stronger. I'll delete this afterwards anyway. Let's see, your app service plan. Next, database. I don't need database now. Container, let's see. I don't want enhanced configuration. I don't want sidecar. Azure Container Registry, and this one, perfect. I want admin credentials, and I will choose here which one to choose. And for me, it's demo React Mac M3. And for you, choose the other one. And that is it. Review and create. So this will take a little while to create. So I will just pause the video and then come back later. So here, the deployment is finished, and we can go to the resource, click here, and just click on the domain. And this is it. We have it. We can copy this domain, go into a new browser, go into here, and it works. And that is, my friends, we've managed to deploy this React application through Dockerizing it. Okay, so this was quite interesting. We have started up creating a demo React application using Vite and NPM and all those stuff that you know about. And then afterwards we Dockerize it, creating an image, and showed you how to deploy it into Azure Container Registry, both without ARM-based system, but also with ARM-based system using BuildX. And then afterwards, when you have it in Azure Container Registry, you create a web app, which is Azure App Service. And then you just choose the image that you want. And then afterwards, when the app is finished, you can click on the domain and you can enjoy your React application. So if you just follow along with this demo, don't forget to remove the web application later on so that it doesn't incur any costs. So thank you for this video. See you in the next one. Bye.